As much as I love this new electric car from Dodge, well, it does weigh 2,700 kilograms or around 6,000 pounds. However, it's got a 100 kilowatt hour battery. Yeah, I know, 93 kilowatt hour usable size battery pack, but it does give it a fair bit of range. Approximately, give or take 300 miles depending on the version. There's a sedan, there's a two-door version of this vehicle. It's got a lot of power. The new SRT version is going to have apparently nearly 1,000 or probably about 1,000 horsepower. Is this a revolutionary electric car? Well, maybe not, but personally, I'm a big fan. This is probably the best looking electric car that I've ever seen in my life. In fact, maybe the best looking car, period. It's a muscle car. Dodge said, we've reached the limits of internal combustion engines. The limits. They're saying that EVs are the future when it comes to muscle cars. This is Dodge's new muscle car. These are the details, what we know about it. There's some interesting features here. Things like having pretend shaking to simulate what it's like to have an engine in an EV. Anyway, here are the features and the power outputs that we know so far of this absolutely stunningly sexy looking electric muscle car. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Dodge. Okay, this is the new Dodge Charger. I am just absolutely in love with the design of this car. However, we know a few things about it, including this, right? The Charger Daytona SRT has a Fratzonic chambered exhaust. A special exhaust system gives the EV the sound of a performance vehicle. It'll sound like an SRT Hellcat if you want it to. So yeah, if you wanted to buy a Hellcat but you couldn't get one because not many of them made, well, this is your opportunity. Sort of. Now it also has something called an R-wing. It's a front aerodynamic wing that creates a longer nose on the vehicle that kind of gives it downforce at the front, and it looks kind of cool. It's kind of a replica of a 70s design from the Dodge Daytona. Now it also has something called the Erupt. It's a multi-speed transmission with an electromechanical shifting experience similar to an internal combustion engine vehicle. As far as I can tell, it's just basically a simulated manual. Not a lot of point to it, to be honest, but it could be fun if that's your thing. Lexus have a similar feature. Now, getting to the stuff, in my opinion, that actually matters a little bit more than that is the power. It actually has quite a lot of power. Now, the concept has an 800 volt tri-motor Banshee EV powertrain. That'll be like the Plaid version. We don't know a whole lot about that, but that's expected to have about 1,000 horsepower. But there'll be three other models underneath that model. The cheapest model will have a 400 volt platform. It's going to be equipped with 340 kilowatt or 440 kilowatt. It'll be called the 340 and the 440. That's a reference to the kilowatt power, but that is 456 horsepower and 590 horsepower respectively. Now there will also be some other versions. You'll be able to get power upgrades, by the way, to those versions. You can upgrade your power from 440 kilowatt to 470 kilowatt. So that's like going from 630 horsepower to 671 horsepower. Now apparently there will be a 500 kilowatt version of the car. That's quite a lot of power, right? 500 kilowatt. That's as much as a lot of supercars have these days. But like I said, that's not the 1,000 horsepower version that we're expecting, the tri-motor version. Now, Dodge is initially saying that there's going to be 6 power options. 340 kilowatt base trim, 370 kilowatt, 400 kilowatt, 440 kilowatt, 470 kilowatt, 500 kilowatt, and stage 1 and stage 2 for the 800 volt SRT Banshee, which is expected to have 1,000 horsepower. In fact, it's expected to have possibly more than 1,000 horsepower. Could even be more than the horsepower in the Tesla Model S Plaid, which would be absolutely rad. That'd be awesome, right? Now, the new coupe, like I said, it's going to be able to sound like a V8 thanks to Dodge's Fratzonic chambered exhaust system, which actually pushes sound through an amplifier at the Charger's tail. So it's not completely synthetic, but kind of. Now, it also has what I said before was the active vibration system enhancement called AVE. It aims to replicate some of the physical sensations combustion cars deliver, like having a bit of movement from the engine bay, which I find truly, truly bizarre. But anyway, if you're wondering how this model lineup all works, right, this new Charger replaces the old 4-door Charger and its 2-door Challenger. So obviously you can see this is a 2-door vehicle. Basically, Dodge is just getting rid of the 4-door option. Now, I think there might actually be a 4-door version of this that'll be available at some point in the future, but we just haven't seen that one yet. Now, looking at the interior of the car, it looks like a pretty significant improvement over the current Dodge Challenger and Dodge Chargers. Looks like they're going to really, put a lot of effort in there. I'm not a big fan of the red LED lighting. I think it looks a bit cheap. It looks a bit maybe like a service station, like a gas station lighting or something like that. But in general, the interior does look a fair bit better than previous Dodge vehicles. But in my opinion, the main thing is the exterior of the car. The fact that this is an electric car. It looks sensational. For diehards who just need that noise, they're going to get the noise they love, but it's an EV. So, I mean, if you go to work early in the morning, right? Let's say you got to go to work at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., you don't have to have the sound on. You can have the sound turned off. And then if you want a bit of fun, if you want to get the excitement of the noise of the vehicle, I don't know why you would, but a lot of people will, you can then turn it on, when you're out of the suburbs. You're on, on the highway, on the freeway, on some twisty roads, you can have a bit of fun. It's got plenty of power, and the thing looks absolutely amazing. So I can't wait until these vehicles are for sale. I'm really hoping that they sell them in Australia as well, because one day in a few years, maybe I'll be able to get one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.